But it will not reach the mind of Christ, because there's nothing in the natural that will provoke God to move. And He knows the things. He knows the things of this world. His faith has to be in this world, because that's all He can know. Okay. It's my struggle to have faith. I have tried to make it something that this man can accomplish. But the truth is, the struggle to faith is just understanding, hey, the answer to this is crucify he that can't have faith. Because faith is born of God. 1 John 5:4. So, then, if God says, then, if you will do this, only then, how much of the church has made there? And He said, only then can you prove and know my will for your life. The natural man cannot know. But we've made it something complete. We've read things that don't belong to us and made the worship and the serving of God something that we do in our own camp. And God said, until I bring you to that place, you're dead. You can't even know what I want. That's what it says. Once you sacrificed that natural, then can you know. Then can you prove the measure of faith, which is the life of God coming through the conduit that has been in you from before the foundation of the world. God said, you're God's. I put you here that I could raise you up and that my life could pour forth from you, that I could live through you, that I could walk in your place of business in you, that I could walk down the streets and the world would feel the touch of God. That's your purpose. Don't settle for anything less than to be that which I created you for. Then He says, you can know. So that's Genesis 2:10. That's Genesis 2:10. In Romans 12, it says, once you get to that point, then you can know, because then it's going to be God flowing out of this thing. So in Genesis 2:10, it said, and the river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. It goes out to the world. It's not that the world's not getting a flow. It's not that the system's not getting a flow. It's that it's not Eden. So, God says, then, can you know? Now, here's what God, you guys can debate my sanity tonight. And I'll even listen. But here's what I believe God's saying. We not only have to have, the garden has to be filled first. It has to be. There must be an inflow. But God said the inflow is of no value without an outflow. Now the inflow of God, go to Galatians. The 5th chapter. Galatians, the 5th chapter and the 22nd verse. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. This is the inflow of God into the garden and into the vessel. Brothers, if it's not in there, what's flowing out is not God. If that is not in the vessel, there is no other verification. God said they're going to come to you as wolves in sheep clothing, but the fruit will tell you what they are. Now that doesn't just mean the fact that if you see me tonight out with another woman and with a fifth of whiskey, that you can say, well, look at that fruit. I mean, that would certainly be a sign. But it also means what kind of converts are coming out that door. What does the people that look at you Sunday after Sunday and hear your voice Sunday after Sunday, if they can get up from hearing you and go back to the mire, I'm telling you, it's not a reflection on them any more than it is on me. Because you are my fruit. And if I preach the truth, that truth will work on you until you change or leave, one or the other. Has anybody made a decision on which way they're going to go on that? The fruit of the Spirit is the verification of God. Has to be so, doesn't it? But what we see here is an internal work. This is God working in you. I cannot give to you my long suffering. You may feel it. It may bless you, but I cannot give it to you. You read these fruits of the Spirit, they cannot be transferred. I can't give it to anybody. God puts it in me. That's the preparation of the garden. That's Eden coming in. That's partaking of the divine nature. But the problem is, when you read that exact in its text, you'll find out it lacks something. Thank God for the inflow, but there's no outflow here. Jesus said, if you thirst, come to me and drink. And out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. This spake he of the Spirit, which was not yet given, because Christ had not yet been glorified. Thank God for inflow. But I'm going to tell you something. You can think about this. If you let God inflow to the point that He intends, outflow is going to be on automatic pilot. If God fills the vessel like He wants to fill the vessel, the river's going to flow. We're just looking for somebody to saturate. Because what holds back the river is not God. What we so often look at is, well, I really don't see how preaching to them is going to be the right thing. So often that is just the natural man saying, I don't want to do it. If we get full of God, the river's going to flow. Because there's going to be a righteous indignation that's going to stand up and say, hey, you know what? Hurt and feelings is secondary. What you think of me is secondary. What this life produces, Jesus said very clearly. He said, don't worry about this life. It's secondary. But the natural man will make it primary in so many subtle ways. All right. The life